from up in the you, I share what she made from me, what she means. How that's about not where she be a name up by the Jordan, but you can't come in Russia, nation what she means. Amen. And that have been saying, second, I want an animal, wabble. What's on my bishop? Bobe, Wabas with Jim, you won't put fast with Jim. If they are not married, they are not money. Madame Musabe and appointment to a Pokemon. Bobe of 2 penny bag, what was with penny local? Woman, you would fast with Jim. If they are school, there could be an woman I believe. No papa one. You would fast with Jim, and you want yourself. That's what I say.
Alright, so the dungeons till the time they died. The conditions on the ships was far worse than conditions in the dungeon. So it was estimated that the death rate on the ships was far higher than the death rate in the dungeons. On the ships, nearly a half of whatever number they transported did not survive. Like for example, if they were transporting about 1,000, about 500 of them did not survive. Because they were kept at the lower deck where human beings were piled up. You know, like how sardines are packed in a box. That is how human beings were packed on the ship. If there was an outbreak of disease, it quickly spreads. If there was shortage of food and water as a result of bad weather or bad current, they had to throw some of the captives into the ocean so that the rest of the food and water could be sufficient for the other captives and crew. You know, they were doing all this because they were not losing money. Because in a way, some of the ship owners insured the slaves. So when they died, they went back to Europe. Their various insurance companies paid them back for the losses they made. And share Africa among themselves. In our history books, we call it the Berlin Conference. Around 1884, 1885, all the European leaders met in Berlin, Germany, and brought forward Africa like a piece of cake and started cutting. So a piece like Ghana, Sierra Leone, Nigeria, some part of South Africa, Gambia, went to the British. A piece like Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, Mali, Gabon, Guinea-Bissau, French. A piece like Togo, Cameroon, Namibia to the Germans. So 1884, 1885, now the maps were drawn. So the maps you see were artificial maps drawn by the Europeans. They shared Africa among themselves without our consent, without them putting into consideration our tribal differences, our languages, traditions, and all that. And as a result of that, we have problems. I hope you all know Congo, Democratic Republic. We are all using phones, mobile phones and laptops today. We have to appreciate Congo. You know, there's this component in our phone that the raw material is mined in Congo. So without Congo, you can't use your mobile phones. They call the raw material cobalt. Congo has uranium, everything, but Congo remains one of the poorest countries in the world. And I can also say for a fact that, you know, Belgium, Europe, Belgium is rich today as a result of Congo. In your free time, type King Leopold II, the atrocities he committed in Congo as a result of the wealth. So that is what is going on in Africa. And over the decades, you realize that places of mineral wealth were conflict zones. For example, in Sierra Leone, Liberia, because they had diamonds. Where they were strong and ready enough to start work on the plantation farms. So here on records, captives were brought from the ages between 14, 15, 16, 17 to about 40 or 45. So you realize that West Africa, Central Africa was deprived of the strong men, the younger generations and the healthier ones. So when towns and villages were raided, the little ones, the sick, and the older ones were left behind. And how can you build a country with the unhealthy, the older, and the small ones? So that is how come we say Africa was underdeveloped during the transatlantic slave trade.